Today I've got this mod station from a user called flehrad over on mechmarket. This is my first trade on mechmarket and I'm very glad it went well and smoothly. This thing arrived from Australia in a few days. It was quick, so it was a good experience for me. flehrad made these mod stations for people who want to mod their switches. You can see here that they fit together like a little jigsaw puzzle. I think he had a few different combinations of these, so you could get maybe 4 or 5, or I guess it could be unlimited, spread out over your table. This is really good for me because what you can see on the screen right now is basically my work area. It doesn't really extend much further out from this screen, so I don't have a lot of space, and I don't have a plate that I can mod switches on easily. So this kind of thing is great for me because it saves a lot of space. So I can put my switches in here. These are for Cherry MX type switches. I've got some MX type switches in here, and you put the switch in here, and then there are other spaces for the different parts of the switch once you're in the process of modding. So this might mean that you want to swap out springs or do some lubing, that kind of thing. What you need to open the switches up is some kind of tool. Now that might be something that you've made yourself, like this, or it could be a screwdriver or a set of tweezers or some pliers, whatever. There's dozens of ways to open these. What I find with this station is if I want to open these, I need to use some kind of tool like this that actually releases the latches on the switch, rather than if I'm using a plate or the switches are installed on a board, I can just pop the latches off like this on this side. I can't do that here because the switch will come out, so I use these tools that I made. I think I'm just going to make a quick video about how to make these, but you need to release the latches on each side using some kind of tool. Put the tool in here, press together, and then this top housing comes off. Put the top housing in here for safekeepings. You can put the plunger in there and then the spring in there so nothing goes away. And then you would do your lubing inside there, and then you might want to swap out your springs, that kind of thing. Come on, get back on there. Yeah, so this is a really cool project, and when I saw these I thought, oh, that's cool, so I wanted to get one. They were reasonably priced, and I think flehrad is trying to kind of iterate on the design. This says version 2. I didn't see version 1. Does it say 1 or 2? It says 1.2. Okay, so I guess there was something before this. I didn't see that. What I like about this, as I said, is the compact nature. Now, because these are 3D printed, they don't look like something that you could buy in the shops. They're not super smooth. If I turn this over, you can see that it's smooth here, but it has some kind of rough patches on the outside. That's to be expected. This is a homemade project. So that's a minor point. It's not a big deal for me though. Another thing, the cool point that I mentioned about being able to fit them together is cool, but because of the nature of, I guess, the materials, they're a little bit difficult to take apart and put together, so that's perhaps another negative point. I don't know if that's fixable. I know nothing about 3D printing and how difficult it is to get these, but I'm sure getting these things to fit together perfectly and smoothly is probably quite hard. I'm not really sure what this space here is for. You can see it's a hole. I'm not really sure about that space there. Does this fit in there? No, this housing doesn't fit in there. So there are a few things that I'm not so sure about. There's a space here at the side. You can throw bits in. Like I said, this is great if you don't have so much space. You want to move things aside, because I can't keep this workspace here all the time. So if I'm in the middle of something, like lubing switches or whatever, and I have to do something else, I like to just kind of put it to one side and I can do something else at this desk, because this is a multi-use desk. I can't dedicate this to keyboards, unfortunately. So this is the mod station from flehrad, and if he iterates on the design again, I would happily buy another one. So thanks again, and see you next time.